was it? Call one of the firefighters.
What do you call it? Everybody, they're helping so many people.
That's your entire life. You don't get that back. The memories are gone. I hope they're alive.
It is like driving through hell itself down here. Literally through hell.
Hi. Just be okay. You're gonna be okay. Hi. You're gonna be okay.
When I was driving to the command post, it really looked like an apocalypse.
It's beyond anything I think any of us could have ever imagined. It looks like we're in a third world country.
This is a hellscape. There are so many homes on fire. It is unusual to see a home that is not. We're here on the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, and look at what 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts are doing to these flames. This home devoured, the one next to it about to go up in flames as well. Meanwhile, fire crews here stretched thin. We have seen very few here on the road as they are battling fires throughout this area. A community completely destroyed by the ferocious wind-driven Palisades fire on the west side of Los Angeles in Pacific Palisades. One man seen trying to use a hose to put out the flames got burned in the process. We visited one neighborhood overnight, which is a total loss. Got this one over here across the street, another one up in flames. You pan over here, homes lost on this street, home here gone. Firefighters aren't trying to save anything here. They're trying to put out these flames to prevent them from jumping to other neighborhoods. I've never seen anything like this. The Palisades fire broke out Tuesday morning and within 20 minutes exploded to more than 200 acres, creating the walls of flames you see here.
Los Angeles is currently experiencing an extreme fire weather condition. With the winds as unpredictable as they are, there's very, very much at risk.
While evacuation notifications were sent out, traffic built up on the few main routes in and out of the area, leaving vehicles stuck in the gridlock as flames advanced closer. The flames moved in so quickly, people who were trying to evacuate, they panicked. Every car that you see here represents someone or a family that in that state of fear thought the best option was to abandon their cars and flee on foot. A bulldozer cleared 100 cars from the roadway to create a path for fire engines. Come on, guys, we gotta go! Our own CBS News crew narrowly escaped flames as the fire grew to encompass the whole town. Governor Gavin Newsom urged residents to heed evacuation orders.
Listen to these evacuation orders. We've all been to memorials. I've never been to a memorial for a building.
Throughout the night, flames threatened landmarks like the Getty Villa.
My heart is in my throat. Pray, but God doesn't stop this wind.
In all of my years covering wildfires, I have never seen anything quite like this. I mean, home after home in iconic Malibu destroyed. There are more homes on fire than men and women that can get to them. The LA Fire Department calling on all backup reserves off duty to come into service for the first time in 19 years, and this wind will continue to pick up over the next few hours.
100-mile-per-hour wind gusts, hurricane-force winds, unleashing fires across Southern California at this hour. These are the images coming in right now. Authorities are calling this a, quote, particularly dangerous situation.
Straight to that major emergency unfolding in Los Angeles right now. As we go to air, 4 major fires are surrounding the city and raging out of control. Harrowing images show the apocalyptic blaze. Near Malibu, residents filming as fire engulfs their home.
You're gonna be okay.
Incredible pictures, aren't they? Hurricane-strength winds are fanning the blaze.
You couldn't see. There was spot fires everywhere. There was trees coming down literally as we were driving, and multiple houses on fire. Definitely the worst brush fire and worst incident that Pasadena has seen in its history.
Absolute catastrophe in Southern California, being described by people there as just hell on earth.
This is the view from an airplane as from KTLA photographer Paul Sanchez as he's giving us an aerial perspective to the devastation in the Palisades. Sky 5 unable to fly due to a temporary flight restriction put in place because President Biden is in town. But this is an incredible view of what it looks like from above.
First, how would you describe what is happening in your city this morning?
It is absolutely cataclysmic. It is terrifying. It is bigger than anything we've ever seen, and we live in fire country.
And all of this is what is behind this dire reality for thousands of LA residents, forced to flee their homes, which were torched in a matter of hours. Many houses in this area belong to the rich and famous, but are now in tatters. Californians are used to wildfires in summer. Now, even in winter, they will have to prepare for the worst.
A fire department bulldozer had to push dozens of the abandoned vehicles out of the way.
This is Sunset Boulevard, right in the heart of Pacific Palisades. And all of these cars, including us at one point, were stuck in this gridlock. And in order for firefighters to actually get to the fires, they had to carve a path. And so a bulldozer literally shoved all of these cars to the side. You can see the bumpers ripped off, the scratches along the vehicles here.
A second fire then breaking out about 30 miles away in the hills above Pasadena.
Sounds like a train.
I mean, Jose, the only word that comes to mind truly here, and we're on the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, is apocalyptic.
It'll be manageable so we don't have catastrophic losses.
Yeah, this is a very cultural place. It's a cultural compound. It's sort of perched high on that hilltop, very dry. We just saw pictures then of the flames almost reaching that compound. There's high winds predicted again today. What's in store, do you think? Are you ready? And how scary is this situation as a whole, really?
It's scary. These winds are really quite something else right now, and it's also the very low humidity, something that we just really don't see these kinds of levels of kind of risk at this point.
Southern California just had a particularly hot summer and almost no rain in what should now be the wet season. This map shows rainfall over the last 60 days compared to the average for that period. The bits in brown around Los Angeles, they've had hardly any rain. And all of this is what is behind this dire reality for thousands of LA residents, forced to flee their homes, which were torched in a matter of hours.
A lot of the devastation that's going on over there. This has been a dramatic fire. Mother Nature has been the star of the show and has made it really challenging for us to fight this fire. Those wind gusts last night that usually lay down after the sun goes down amplified and doubled. I sat out there at the Palisades fire all night and watched those winds whip up to 70, 80, even 100 miles an hour as it scorched that hillside and created 300 to 200 flame lengths. It was dramatic and apocalyptic.
Morning, the firestorm officials had feared becoming a reality, with a third out-of-control wildfire exploding overnight in the Los Angeles area.
At the end of the day, I mean, who's ready for something like this?
Overnight, flames reaching the iconic Malibu neighborhood and its beachfront homes. In the coastal neighborhood Pacific Palisades, multiple homes completely engulfed in flames, with desperate residents rushing to get out. Planes flying above the area, capturing the massive reach of the inferno. The fire jumping Pacific Coast Highway, burning all the way to the ocean, even threatening the famed Getty Villa Art Museum. And two more fires igniting overnight, spreading to Pasadena, where this Jewish temple erupted in flames.
It's like a bad, horrific dream.
In Altadena, dramatic video showing elderly patients being evacuated from a senior center. The Palisades fire igniting mid-morning Tuesday, with the area's hilly, winding roads quickly clogging with cars.
The homeowners are saying they're unable to access any exit routes. There's fire on both sides of the roads.
We are in bumper-to-bumper traffic right now as hundreds of people try to get out. You can see flames here on both sides of the road with very little visibility. Many abandoning their vehicles to flee on foot.
Policemen started telling everybody, get out of your car, leave your car if you want to live.
A bulldozer brought in to clear a path, pushing dozens of cars out of the way. Smoke from the growing fire darkening the skies. This man breaking down, desperate to reach his dogs.
I've been trying to get to my house for 5 hours.
Later, reunited, his house thankfully saved.
The fire is growing. We have no percentage of containment.
Brother, you good?
See how the wind just pushes those embers, and those embers are from another fire, not even from the one that we're seeing here.
When they ask you to evacuate, evacuate. This is not a drill.
This wildfire, we talk about how quickly the whole thing blew up. Take a look at this incredible time-lapse video from Alert, California and the UC San Diego. This was taken from a building on Wilshire Boulevard. Look what happens there. Time-lapse video as that fire suddenly sets the entire hillside ablaze. Sandra, that's what happens when you have up to 100-mile-an-hour winds fueling this. It's like a jet engine that's igniting these flames and spreading them all over. The way that fire blew up that quickly and literally doubled in size in an hour is just remarkable.
Yeah, which is why the sheriff right now, they're still in survival mode, but they're prioritizing life over everything else, his own words. This is 0% contained at this point, and that is how fast it spread. And we just had the weather report from Adam Klotz. I mean, we've got dry weather, wind gusts, which are going to continue, we are told, for days, John, which is only going to make matters worse before anything can start to turn a corner.
You know, when you see this on time lapse, it shows you just how quickly these things blow up, which is why, again, it's so imperative for people who are in these evacuation areas to get out. Look at that. Just the entire hill just erupts on the right-hand side of your screen there. Remarkable.
Praying for everyone in these fires' path is just absolute destruction right now.
As officials warn, the worst could be yet to come. And so we begin a Wednesday afternoon. Hello, I'm John Roberts in Washington. It is just hell on earth out there, Sandra.
Absolute heartbreak and destruction for so many right now.
Let's get out of here. Whatever I lose, and there's nothing I can do about it. Anything like this in my life. Oh my gosh.
5 people are now dead as the Eaton fire continues to burn, affecting the areas of Pasadena, Altadena, Sierra Madre, and La Cañada Flint Ridge. The fire has burned more than 16 square miles and more than 900 structures, and it remains 0% contained. The Palisades fire has burned more than 26 square miles since Tuesday. More than 1,000 structures have been burned, and the neighborhood of Pacific Palisades has been devastated by this blaze. Homes and businesses have been completely gutted by the flames, and all that's left is rubble in many areas. It is already the most destructive fire in Los Angeles history. Firefighters were battling a new fire Wednesday night just above Hollywood Boulevard named the Sunset Fire. While the scene was chaotic and the flames could be seen from the traffic in front of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, firefighters made quick progress. The fire burned more than 43 acres. Most of the evacuations from this fire have now been lifted.
In the book of Job, chapter 37, 5 through 13, we learn that God controls the weather. God thunders marvelously with his voice. He does great things which we cannot comprehend. For he says to the snow, fall on the earth, likewise to the gentle rain and the heavy rain of his strength. He seals the hand of every man, that all men may know his work. The beasts go into dens, and remain in their lairs. From the chamber of the south comes the whirlwind, and cold from the scattering winds of the north. By the breath of God ice is given, and the broad waters are frozen. Also with moisture he saturates the thick clouds. He scatters his bright clouds, and they swirl about, being turned by his guidance, that they may do whatever he commands them on the face of the whole earth. He causes it to come, whether for correction, or for his land, or for mercy. Correction is the Hebrew word shabbat, which means, literally, a stick for punishing, writing, fighting, ruling, walking, etc. Job 37:13 can be translated like this. He causes it to come, whether for punishment, or for his land, or for mercy. God controls the weather for 3 reasons: for punishment, for his land, or for mercy. The extreme weather we have been witnessing is clearly punishment.